Good morning, I'm Kristin Omdahl and welcome back to Yarn on the Beach. This is Vanderbilt Beach in Southwest Florida, specifically Naples, Florida. And it's just before sunrise and I thought it would be really fun to share with you the beautiful sunrise on the beach. I hope you can enjoy the sounds of the waves crashing. Hopefully you can enjoy the colors as the sun rises over the water, or over the land and onto the water, and maybe we'll even see some wildlife. Grab a beverage or grab your yarn and maybe you can sit and knit and crochet with me. Good morning everyone, and thank you so much for joining me. Whether you use this time meditatively or just to relax or maybe even to craft with me, you're welcome to enjoy the beautiful nature with me, and let's get started and enjoy. Thank you all for joining me this morning. If you're just joining now, I am knitting on the beach this morning and really want to share this beautiful nature experience with you. Whether you choose to enjoy the sunrise, the beach, the wildlife, the sound of the water, or maybe you can grab your yarn and do some morning crafting with me, I just want you to feel welcome to join. Happy Friday everyone, and let's enjoy this beautiful beach and crashing waves together. Good morning, and thank you to anyone joining. If you're just coming on, I wanted to welcome you to enjoy this beautiful beach sunrise with me. Thank you all for taking the time out of your day to join me. Maybe you can enjoy just the nature, the sounds of the water and the sunrise, or maybe you can bring a Diana is asking why I'm making so many yarn overs. It's a technique for making a drop stitch that I will be teaching you when this pattern comes out. It's a really lovely technique, and I've used it before in other projects. Specifically the Bonita Beach lace knit shawl pattern. If you search for that one, you can find this stitch there as well. So just for anybody joining me this morning, I wanted to make sure that you felt welcome to enjoy the sounds of the water, the sunrise. Maybe grab yourself a beverage and just enjoy the nature, or if you can grab your yarn and craft with me, that would be really fun too. But I just wanted to share this beautiful experience with all of you and get some knitting done. In my lifestyle, I have to juggle lots of things with lots of moving parts, and so being able to start my day after I drop Marlon off at tennis with a little bit of crafting on the beach is just one of my favorite parts of crafting. And because it's such a special opportunity, being that I live so close to the water, I thought it was really something special that I could share with all of you. So good morning, happy Friday, and please feel welcome to enjoy the beach with me. Thank you so much for everybody who's commenting. I will be able to comment later, but just in advance, thank you all so much for joining me and for commenting, and I hope you're really enjoying this time on the beach. Good morning. Thank you for joining me. I won't be able to see all of your comments today because I'm having to concentrate on my rows. On the straight knitting rows, I'll be able to look back and concentrate a little better, but I just want you to all know that I hope that with this series of videos, we're able to share this really amazing opportunity that I have of living so close to an amazing piece of nature. And if you are interested, you are welcome to join me any day while I craft on the beach, and you can either craft along with me virtually or just enjoy the sounds of the beach and watch the sunrise with me. Some days, depending on the weather, we'll be able to see birds, we'll be able to see dolphin, we'll be able to see schools of fish. You never know what you're going to see down at the beach, and I'm really excited to be able to share all of this with you. The sun still hasn't made it over the trees yet, but it will warm up when it does. Hi Elisa, good morning. On the straight knitting rows, I can look back and maybe pop in and reply to a question or a comment. Anna, I'm so glad you're enjoying it. It's always more fun to enjoy something special with other people. Okay, we have a color stripe done. Don't know if I brought scissors though. Good morning, Tammy. Thanks for sharing and thank you for joining me. I saw a question briefly pop up on what I'm making, and I'm working on a project in Be So Tender yarn that will be an exclusive pattern for another company. So I can't really share it with you yet. It's just a sneak peek, but it will be out in February. And it is a stitch pattern that I have used before that is available as a free download on my website in a shrug form and also in a top-down shawl form. It's knitting with an elongated drop stitch and a feather and fan, and we're doing stripes. Really, really, really pretty. And remarkably easy. I've taught a demo on this recently at my local knitting and crochet club, which meets every Tuesday evening. If you're ever in the Naples area, please feel welcome to join us. Ooh, I see the sun coming. Okay, concentrating row's done. If I can, I'll answer any comments on the next row. KB Fibers, thank you so much for answering a question while I was not able to answer it. Anybody that feels like chiming in with a question to a comment when I'm unable to reply, I am very grateful for that. That's lovely. Thank you so much. I love that. I love watching the sun get closer and closer. It will instantly warm up as soon as the sun reaches us. And then you see the sand start sparkling and the water sparkles more. I love sunrise. I'm almost out of time. I don't know if I'm going to make it for the full sun coming up this morning. I probably have only time to finish this last row. I leave myself about 20-25 minutes for coming down to the beach in the morning before I go on to my next errands, or parts of, not errands, my next part of the day. My day involves way more than just chores, so that's not saying it correctly. Well, maybe I'll finish the next 2 rows because the drop stitch is kind of sitting on there pretty loosely, so I don't like to leave that row alone. I like to finish it up with its knit row counterpart. Okay, let's see if the sun will make it to us before I finish my last row. I wish I could stay all day. If anyone has any last questions, I can look on a knit row. Knitting is not hard. Yeah, no, knitting is not hard once you get the hang of it. I think sometimes people have a hard time segueing from knitting to crochet because they're fixed on the way their hands are doing something. And all I can say is practice makes perfect, and finding a project that you want to make or want to possess after you're done making it is sometimes the desire that will get you to want to learn something new. I happen to learn both within a week of each other, so I don't remember my hands liking one technique over the other. I've been doing both for about 16 years, so for me they're very interchangeable. But sometimes I do believe that if you just find a project that you think you can't live without, that is a really wonderful way to give yourself the encouragement to learn something new. KB Fibers just said that she likes to combine them in her projects. That's a lot of fun, and I've gotten a lot of requests for doing books like that. Have not put them in the same project in a book yet, but it is definitely an idea that I keep toying around in my head. You find it so hard in your hands. Yeah, you know, maybe it would help to, if you know somebody that if there's somebody you know and trust that is a knitter, and you can have her watch you, then maybe she could point out some ways that you could hold the yarn, you know, maybe make some little tweaks in your positioning. Maybe that would help. Or just practice. Practice without putting too much pressure on yourself. I think that's the other part. We expect ourselves to be quick and proficient and experienced, maybe too soon sometimes. Just practice for the sake of practicing and without putting pressure on yourself, and maybe in a short period of time you'll see the progression of your stitches and you'll see that you actually are improving. I think we put way too much pressure on ourselves, guys. I know I am notorious for beating myself up for the silliest of things, and it's not worth it. You know, you do the best you can, and you'd be amazed when you stop putting pressure on yourself. You're really a lot better at things than you realize. Shirley does both, and I think that's great. I think there's a time and a place for all of it, and it's there's beautiful things you can do in knitting, and there's beautiful things you can do in crochet. Sometimes there's things that translate to both, and sometimes there's things that don't translate to both. So I think that there's plenty of space in the world for both, and I love working on both. But that's all the time I have for today, and I want to thank you all so much for joining me. I hope you had a great time enjoying the water and the nature and the sounds of the water with me. I hope you make time to knit or crochet today, or both, and I hope you can join me another time. Have a wonderful day. Happy Friday, everybody.